All right, everybody, Jason here with Mark Twain Lake Fishing Intel. We got a great episode here on the January roundtable, even though it's first February. But we're going to talk wintertime crappie fishing. We're going to talk fish habitat. We got Aaron Eckelkamp from the Mark Twain U.S. Army Corps of Engineers office here. Say that right?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So, and we've got Dennis Lawrenson with Northeast Missouri Angler. And he's actually going to get into the catfish side of Mark Twain Lake Fishing Intel, which is up on the website now. We're going to get into that later. We got Van from Thumper Jigs, and he just got back from a jig tying contest and did pretty well.
First place.
And we're going to get into that here in a little bit as well. And we got Keith Williams. He's one of our crappie and bass experts here at Mark Twain Lake. And actually, he's going to start guiding on the lake this spring, or actually any time. So anyway, we're going to get into that later too. And off camera, we got guide Ken Erb, and we got Zeke Broughton, another Fish Intel member. So we got a nice little show tonight. And we're going to start it off by thanking the Junction Restaurant here in Perry, Missouri for a wonderful meal again.
Awesome.
What'd you guys have?
Philly cheesesteak.
What'd you have, man? Prime
Our
rib?
special prime rib. Is
Prime rib
Oh,
special on
it's
Wednesday night.
fantastic.
Yeah,
$20.
yeah, can't beat it.
Top of prime rib.
I had the Philly cheesesteak, you had
Philly
Philly cheesesteak.
Nachos.
He had the nachos, so can't go wrong. And what'd you have, Ken?
Chicken piccata.
Chicken piccata. Zeke?
BLT bacon wrap.
There you go. So you're never gonna go wrong here at the Junction Restaurant here in Perry, Highway 19 and 154. They got weekly specials. I know they got steak special on Fridays, like $12 for a steak and 2 sides and an iced tea. And fried chicken on Wednesdays for lunch. They got all kinds of great specials, so check them out. Also want to thank 154 Marine for sponsoring this video. They're your Skeeter and Excel bass boat dealer here at Mark Twain Lake. Check Charlie and Sonny out, Matthew and Corey in the bunch. If you need anything done with your boat, you're looking to buy a new boat, used boats. I know they got a few used boats as well, so check them out. And they're actually going to be your new all-aboard marine dealer. For anybody that doesn't know, that it's the Live Scope separate pole. It's the allaboardmarine.com. They're going to be our newest dealer here at the lake, from what I understand. I want to thank everybody for joining us this evening, and let's just get into the crappie fishing. So I know Keith's been out a lot. Dennis has been out a few times. So Keith, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I've been trying to hit it 3 to 4 days a week, giving Jason as much information as I can. The crappie fish for me has been good most of the time. Sunny days are definitely much better. The fish start moving up higher in the column. Be a little bit easier to catch then. Pretty much it's been the same for me all year. I'm catching 25 foot deep to 25 foot deep, over 30 foot of water. My fish are still relating to pole timber. They're up on the flats just out of the channel swings. That's pretty much what I've been doing. It's been monkey milk with that 1/32 ounce jig head and an 1/8 ounce split shot, dropping down to them. The bite has been good.
Yeah. I know you and I were out New Year's Eve, and we had a pretty phenomenal day that day.
We had a lot of 11 or 12 inch crappie that day.
We sure did. You know, they were bunched up, and we'd find 3 or 4 big ones together, and then we'd throw down, catch 1 or 2, maybe 3, and then we couldn't get the rest of them to bite.
That has been the pattern. If you find large groups of crappie, there's a lot of little ones in there. If you find the smaller groups that are 5, 6, 7 fish, you're finding better fish.
Exactly. And also, we're going to talk about this new Thumper jig head later, but we've actually been downsizing our baits, and I don't know if anybody can see that or not. But this is one of the Wild Willie waxy wigglers he's got out. But we've had to downsize our baits from that 2-inch to that 1.25 inch, 1.5 maybe.
Yeah, I've been biting down
Is that
an
what you
inch
guys
and a half
got
baits.
seen?
Yeah, I was using, just a 1 3/4 inch, like a baby shad. And Wild Willie's sent me some of them smaller baits, and they got a 1-inch body, total is like 1 1/4 inches total in here. But they're real small around, real small profile. And a couple of jig head hooks that he was making for them. And I was out there, I think it was very close to where you were. I seen you out there that
Yep.
day. I think
Yep.
it was the day
Because you
after
actually gave me some of
New
these
Year's or
millers.
whatnot, and I
Yep.
gave y'all some.
Yep,
And I was finding fish, you know, there at the first part of the month. The ones I was finding was like you know, 20, 25 foot. I was finding, it seemed like I was finding better fish out on the treetops in 40 foot of water, but the treetops were like at 15 foot deeper. And like you said, if there was a whole bunch of fish, they were small fish. If you could find 3 to 5 fish together, then they were 11s, you know, 10.5 to 12 inch fish. You might catch 1 or 2 and then they're gone. But if you're not sure, you know, you're new to live scope, if you have live scope, what I noticed is the smaller fish would chase. The bigger fish would just come up and grab it. If they wanted to do that, I call it chase as a race, where they just want to follow the jig or they run up to it and stop, you don't do nothing. Chances are they're an 8, 9 inch fish, you know, and that's, everything was doing that, just run up and stop, even the bigger fish, you know, they run up and stop, and they kind of look at it, and then they swim off, and they bounce it down on them again, they look at it, they follow a little bit, and they just go back. And I had those, and I thought, well, he sent it to me, I might as well try them, you know, so I put them on, and I used the JB's fish sauce, either waxworm or the baby fish, either one.
scent's pretty important this time of year.
I think scent's more important. Scent profile to me is more important than color right now.
Right.
And I put that on there and dropped down on them, and I mean, the fish they were chasing the 1 3/4 inch, the smaller profile, they come up and they smoked it. I mean, there was no hesitation whatsoever. And before, you know, you drop down, you get it, you had to put it right in their nose almost.
Right.
To where with the smaller profile, it seemed like when that bait got 2 foot away from them, they just come to it. They didn't even wait for it, they just come right out there. And it allowed me to catch an extra fish or 2 out of them groups of 5, you know, 3 to 7 fish before the rest of them split.
Right.
Because they were coming off of the rest of them instead of getting right down on them.
Right.
And
You
pulling
know,
them right there.
a lot of the bigger fish, what Keith and I were noticing, they would, especially on live scope, you know, most of us got live scope. When you see the fish come up, jump on it, you wouldn't feel nothing. But
Yeah.
if you're watching a screen, you just lift up, it's heavy.
I had that too.
You know, and you
I
got them,
just
you know,
lift.
them 11, 12 inch fish were
See
doing
the
that for
rod.
us.
And they don't barely have it either, they've choked it.
And they've choked it,
Down.
but you don't feel nothing. All you're doing is if you're watching your screen, on like, if you got forward facing sonar, any forward facing sonar, like I said, they're jumping on it and then, I better set the hooks, and then you lift up and it's heavy. And it's pretty wild, you know. What do you think the reason is why they're wanting this smaller bait?
Well, I think